God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps, the ski mask.
Hey, what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down! We getting ready to kick off part 5 from coming home from a life sentence. $140 a month. That's extremely good money in prison. So,
really?
You know, yeah, so you know, now, so I came home with the mindset of, if I can sit up in there and work in there for 10, 12 cents an hour, then I definitely can come out and, you know, go to McDonald's, go to Popeyes. You know, when I came out, I worked at Popeyes. I worked at Papa John's Pizza. I did some seasonal work for UPS. You know, so I had a bunch of different jobs, and so, but now I can appreciate, you know, working and getting the honest day's pay.
That's dope. That's a real genuine answer. You know, that you really did not trying to sugarcoat nothing. You just told it as real it is as it is. And in all honesty, not even just for people coming out of prison, just people in general should look at it like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you got people that are making 20 cents, 30, 40 cents that would love to be at a McDonald's making $16 an hour and all that. And at the end of the day, this just boils down to, you know, you doing what you got to do, and most importantly, keeping your mind busy so you don't backtrack and, you know, fall back and do stuff that you did before. You know, you're staying away from that. You're moving forward. The past is the past, and the forward is the future. You know.
And another thing I want to include too, I realized too that when you're working, the job itself keeps you out the way.
Yes.
Keeps you out the way, keeps you off the street, you know what I'm saying? You get up in the morning, you go to work, you get off, you go home, you know, you may watch a little TV or whatever, you go to sleep, then you right back at the job again. But that keeps me from running the street, being places that I shouldn't be, you know, hanging with people who I shouldn't be hanging around. And then, like I say, at the end of the week, when you get that check, it's extremely rewarding because, you know, this is your money, you know, you ain't done nothing wrong to get it. You know, the police ain't fit to come take you away. You're not worried about, you know, motherfuckers trying to jack you and rob you. You know what I'm saying? It's an honest day's pay.
Yeah, you earned it. It's a good feeling when that happens. What do you think you have any new habits or something that you might like doing since you've been out that you probably didn't think that you might like doing? Like it's golfing or something, you know, like anything. Like, what are some things you enjoy? Or even if it's watching something different that you probably would have never thought you'd start watching.
No, and you know what? It's just, honestly, and I know, I talked to a lot of my friends who had life and have came home. We just enjoy being out, man. You know, I know when that COVID shit first hit, a lot of motherfuckers, they couldn't deal with being locked up. You know, I felt like I was in the cell when my package it came, and you know, and I went to the store. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because, you know, when you're in jail, there's no better feeling of going to the store, going to canteen, because now you got a bunch of stuff in there to eat. You know, you're not gonna be in there hungry. And then if you happen to go to the store and you know, because we own this in prison, we can order packages from vendors. And of course, you know, they got, you know, all types of stuff in there: beans and rice, seafood, you know, roast beef, chicken in the can, you know, macaroni and cheese. You can order a whole bunch of various different products, you know, oatmeal, all types of stuff. So just imagine, you know, in those days it was really like Christmas, when you just so happen maybe to go to the commissary in prison, and your package would happen to come that same day. And so that's what I felt like when you know, this COVID-19 shit hit. Now I was cool. You know, I had all this food, I had a TV, I had a cell phone, you know, and it was nothing to me. So now I think, like I say, a lot of my friends who done life sentences, we just enjoy being home, man. We just enjoy being at home, being in the house. You know, we don't run the streets like we used to. And when I was younger, you know, I couldn't stay in the house for shit. Nowadays, I just, you know, I chill at the house. I don't have a problem with it.
When I just thought about this, because you said you never drove before you went in?
Drove? Well, yeah, I drove.
Oh, you used to drive before you went in?
Yeah, I had a driver's license since I was 16 years old. A driver's license and a motorcycle license.
Oh, okay. You be...
Well, I used to.
Okay.
Now that's something else. I won't get on a motorcycle again. I just feel like, you know, I done all the dangerous shit that I done, and I'm not supposed to, you know, I'm not supposed to attempt that.
You ain't for to cross that boundary.
Right.
Do you when you came home, Do you still make spreads?
You know what? When I came home after a while, I was looking for they got these dehydrated refried beans. And one of the things, since I don't eat a lot of seafood, well, I don't eat no seafood.
Well, I don't eat no
Yeah.
seafood.
So what I would do is I'd mix when I was in prison, the dehydrated beans. They'd have some instant rice. I'd crush up a soup, put a soup up in there, a chili soup, especially the chili soup for the seasoning, and then I chop up some chicken out the can, and that stuff right there, and then I'd probably put some squeezed cheese, some nacho squeezed cheese in there, and that stuff really fills you up after you work out. When it was real good, and it bulk you up real good, and so I was definitely trying to find some of those dehydrated beans, and I found some at Smart and Final, but then after like a month or two, they discontinued them. But I actually called the vendor and tried to order a package.
Wow.
Because they have these beans in the package, but they say you can only send the package to a person in prison. So and like I say, a lot of people don't probably got out and didn't never want to see a Top Ramen, but some of that stuff after you've been eating it for so long, it is good.
Yeah, man. I mean, the Top Ramen, man. Who didn't? Top Ramen to this day. I don't make spreads or nothing, but shit, I'm making some beef flavored Top Ramen with some hot sauce or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Spruce them up a little bit. What did you did you play a lot of sports in there? And if you did do you still do so now? Like whether it's basketball or whatever case might be?
Oh yeah, when I was in prison, that's basically what I did all day long. Just played basketball, all day long, and so after a while though, maybe about 2013, 2014, the youngsters who started coming in, they were more disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? They talked a whole lot of shit, and basketball began to become problematic because there's only so much you're gonna say to me on the basketball court. You know what I'm saying? So actually, matter of fact, I remember I was getting ready to go to the board, maybe about maybe like in 2016, about 2 weeks before I went to the board, I got into a fight on the basketball, over the basketball. We got into it on the basketball court, but we ended up having a fight in my cell. You know what I'm saying? So, but had I got caught for that fight, I definitely would have went and got a 5-year denial. So I definitely realized that sometimes basketball is problematic. And so
Really?
I stepped away from that, and that was one of the reasons that I started playing tennis. You know what I'm saying? Because it was less contact, less dudes who were full of shit. You know what I'm saying? And so that was one of the reasons that I started playing tennis. So yeah, when I came home, I've been playing some basketball since I've been home, and I played some tennis. So yeah, every now and then I end up when I got home, I end up tearing some tendons in my shoulder and some my bicep muscle. So that took me out the game for about 7 or 8 months, trying to recover from that. But yeah, I definitely got out and played some sports.
That's dope. You're the second person I've heard mention tennis. I remember, I'm sure you know who Rick Ross is, right? Freeway Rick. Yeah, he was on another platform, and he mentions it often that he started playing tennis like when he was like locked up in there and shit.
Yeah. Well, tennis is an extremely fun game. I really enjoy it, and I still like playing it from time to time out here.
Okay. So, what was the first song you recorded, and how long were you out before you hit the studio?
The first song that I recorded, it was a song called "By My Side," and it was a song just dedicated to my mom about how she always, stuck by my side throughout my incarceration. And I don't remember exactly how long I was out before I recorded it. Maybe a couple weeks. Not long though.
Yeah. Okay. What was the first job you had, and how has it been finding a job? Is it difficult, or what's your take on it?
Well, it's extremely easy finding a job for a person who has a conviction. They have something now that's called ban the box, and basically what it is they created a law. I don't know if it's in other states, but it's definitely in California, and it prevents your potential employee from going back and looking at your record and saying, okay, I'm not going to hire this dude. So they can only go back 7 years.
Really?
So if you haven't been arrested of a crime within 7 years, or you haven't been convicted of a crime within 7 years, then they can't hold that against you. So for instance, even though I had just been recently paroled, my conviction was in 94 and 95. So they can only go back 7 years. And
so they don't even, that's irrelevant to them.
right,
That's none of
right.
their business,
So
basically.
it's just not gonna pop up or whatever. And so yeah, I had several jobs, you know, and so I think that anybody that basically wants to work, if you've been to prison, you know, the jobs are available. And my first job I was doing seasonal work for UPS, and you know, I was maybe reluctant when I initially went down to file to try to get the job, but you know, I got the job, and it was nothing, you know. So yeah.
Since we're on that topic, how was that? Like working a job out here versus a job in there?
It was cool, you know, because like I say, basically my job in prison was trying not to have a job. You know, I tried to avoid all work, you know, because I didn't want to, you know, I'm thinking, okay, these motherfuckers is working me for this 8 cents. Fortunately, I had my family and people who supported me, so I didn't necessarily need a job. And it was really a messed up mindset that I had because I didn't think that I was coming home. So, you know, I didn't want to be in there. You know, I'd prefer to hang out and slang some cigarettes. You know, when you sell one cigarette, you're going to make more than you'd make in the whole day on that job. So, you know, but it was cool being able to work, you know, seeing my paycheck and stuff like that.
Selling them cones, huh?
Yeah.
How long were you out before you got a driver's license? And how was that process for you?
I was out, I would probably say maybe about a month and a half, 2 months. And like I said, at the transitional house, a lot of people was rushing. They was gung-ho to go and get their license and all this type of stuff. But I was just chilling, you know. I wasn't worried about, you know, running out there and buying no car and getting no license and none of that stuff. I was just relaxing, man. And so, you know, it was cool though. What I had to do is since I went to Montana and had a license in Montana, my information wasn't in the system. But there was a guy who went to jail the same month as I did and got out 2 days after me. So he done like 24 years. And all he had to do was take the written part again.
Okay.
I think he had to only answer like 20-something questions, but due to the fact that my information was no longer in the system because I had got that Montana license, I had to take the written test and I had to do the driving test.
Oh, so everything.
Everything, yeah. But it was still relatively easy.
Yeah, it's not hard. People make it seem like it's hard. It's actually, all you're really doing is paying attention as far as the driving test goes and remembering and shit.
And now with the written test, you know, they have all that stuff on YouTube. So I watched a YouTube channel about the DMV answers and questions, and I watched that for about 2 days and went down there and passed the test.
I'm real brief. When I got my, I took the written test, and so I had failed it 3 times. But every time I failed, I'd keep it. And I remember at the time, back in 07 or 08, they only had like 15 different ones, and they numbered them. And the 4th time I took it, I wouldn't be damned if I got the number that I'd already failed. So I literally just remembered all the different checks.
Right.
I checked the same shit. I think I only got 1 wrong on that damn test. I'm like, yes, I just beat the system.
Yeah.
Oh, DMV, it was a long time ago. Don't worry about that. But have you had any police encounters since you've been out? And how is that good?
Well, you know what? Actually, I haven't had any encounters whatsoever with the police, you know.
No, nothing.
No, nothing.
Not them.
Not a speeding ticket, not them saying anything to me, and you know, so that's been cool, you know.
Do you get nervous when you're driving and they're around you or anything?
Not at all, because you know I know that I'm legal. I got my license, I got my insurance, you know, and I haven't done nothing, so that's another good thing, you know.
When would it make you nervous if you were to get pulled over? You think?
I think I kind of would get a little nervous. I think because knowing that they would run once they ran my history, you know, telling how they may react, you know. So that may make me a little bit nervous.
Would they? Could they? They couldn't do anything though, right? Like if you just weren't doing nothing, seatbelt on, whatever, they stop you for whatever bullshit reason they stop you for. If they did look at your charges or anything, could they there's nothing they could do, just...
No, not really, and I've had a couple of friends who were lifers actually got pulled over for speeding, and they just, you know, wrote them a ticket and sent them on their way.
Oh, that's interesting. What are some things you like to watch on YouTube when you first got out?
Well, when I was locked up, I used to see on the news. I used to watch the news a lot, and I used to read a lot of articles about all the violence in Chicago. You know, 30, 40 people getting shot over the weekend, 8, 9 people getting killed. So I was like wondering, like, what the hell is going on in Chicago? You know, so I started researching, stories about the Chicago violence and that type of stuff. And so I watched that for a long time, just trying to understand, what was going on out there, why there was so many killings and shootings over the weekend and stuff.
It's a trip that you say that, because how you're intrigued and curious about Chicago, because have you been there?
No.
Well, how you've never been there, and it's like it's so different, foreign. I feel like it's the same way that me, myself, and maybe everyone that's watching, that's how we feel